All right, let's dive into something that's really changing the game in today's crazy, complex world: design thinking. It sounds fancy, but the idea behind it is actually super simple and, honestly, pretty profound. It all starts by focusing on people. So let's kick things off with a big question. Have you ever looked around at all the constant change, the wild new tech, the shifting markets, and just felt like the old ways of doing things aren't cutting it anymore? It seems like those traditional straight line approaches, well, they just miss the mark. And that's the exact problem we're going to unpack today. And that really gets to the heart of what we can call the modern innovation challenge. The pressure on literally every company to stay relevant has never, ever been this intense. Think about it. It used to be that innovation was a bonus, a nice to have. Not anymore. Today, it's about survival. Companies are in this constant race to adapt to what we, the customers, need and want. But it's more than that. It's about creating real, lasting value. If you're just sticking to the old playbook, that's a recipe for getting left behind fast. So, if the old ways are broken, what's the alternative? Well, that brings us to a whole new way of looking at these challenges: thinking by design. And here's the absolute key difference. The traditional approach, it's almost always assumption-driven. A company thinks it knows what you want, so they go off and build it. Design thinking completely flips that script. It's user-driven. That means it starts with real people, not with a bunch of assumptions made in a boardroom. So what is it really? At its core, design thinking is a problem-solving framework that puts people right smack in the center of everything. Every single decision, from the very first napkin sketch to the final product you hold in your hand, is guided by a deep, genuine understanding of what users actually need. And this is how it works. It's this continuous loop, a cycle. First, you empathize. That means you really truly get to know your user. Then you ideate. You brainstorm a ton of creative solutions, no bad ideas at this stage. Next, you prototype. You build cheap, fast, and simple versions of your best ideas. And finally, you test them with real people, get their feedback, and then you do it all over again. It's all about learning and refining as you go. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Oh yeah. Let's look at some amazing examples of innovation in action. Let's start with a big one: Airbnb. Their initial challenge was absolutely huge. They had to convince people to do something that felt kind of weird and risky: go stay in a complete stranger's home. The core problem they had to solve wasn't about technology. It was all about trust and making it easy to use. So, by really empathizing with both the hosts and the guests, they figured out that trust wasn't just about secure payments. No, it was about the little things, like seeing the host's friendly face, reading reviews from real people, and seeing high-quality professional photos of the space. Those human-centered insights are what turned a struggling little startup into the global giant it is today. And hey, it's not just for tech companies. Take the world-renowned Mayo Clinic. They faced a totally different kind of challenge. How do you improve the human experience of healthcare? The goal was to take the patient's journey, which can be incredibly stressful and confusing, and make it feel more supportive and seamless. They actually mapped out the entire patient journey and found this key moment of pain: that anxious, silent waiting period between seeing a doctor and understanding what happens next. Just by redesigning that little bit of communication, they got this incredible win-win. Patient satisfaction went way up, and the clinic actually became more efficient. Now here's one you might have even experienced yourself. Starbucks wanted to make its mobile ordering process as smooth as a latte. The goal was to get rid of any friction and create a digital experience that was super fast, easy, and satisfying for customers who are always on the go. By just watching how customers behaved, they pinpointed the exact moment of frustration: that crowded pickup counter where everyone's trying to figure out which drink is theirs. That simple observation led to a redesigned in-app status tracker and clearer signs in the store. The result? Faster service, way happier customers, and a huge boost in brand loyalty. So these examples, from hospitality to healthcare to your morning coffee, they all show that this isn't some niche strategy for one type of business. Design thinking is a truly universal framework. Just take a look at this. It doesn't matter if it's healthcare trying to reimagine patient care, or finance trying to simplify digital banking, or even education creating learning that's actually centered on the student. The applications are everywhere. Even governments are using it to build services that are, actually easy for people to use. The fact that this works across so many different sectors proves something really important. This isn't just a buzzword or some passing trend. It's a fundamental, strategic capability that modern organizations absolutely need to thrive. So, why does all of this matter to you? Because getting a handle on this way of thinking is all about building your own future-ready skill set. Seriously, when you adopt a design thinking mindset, you start building some of the most valuable skills you can have today. It teaches you to mix your creativity with real empathy, to use sharp analytical thinking to find the real problems, and to come up with solutions based on actual evidence, not just gut feelings. These are the skills of a modern leader, plain and simple. And this quote just nails it. It perfectly captures the whole spirit of what we've been talking about. True, meaningful innovation isn't just about fancy tech. It's about understanding people, being brave enough to experiment, and solving problems that really matter. So I'll leave you with this question. In your work, in your studies, in your everyday life, the opportunities to use these principles are absolutely everywhere. The future is being designed right now, and it's being designed with empathy at its core. So, what will you design?